and your video off so that we can enjoy a high quality viewing experience. And if you have questions for our guests, please type them into the chat and I will pose them on your behalf after the presentation is completed. The Empress Hotel, the Fairmont Empress, is a historical landmark in Victoria and is a preeminent destination for guests to our city. It offers a luxury experience for its guests, whether they're staying in the hotel or enjoying the dining area or spa. This is a team you can be proud to join. And to present us today about their current and upcoming career opportunities, I am pleased to welcome Avik De Leon, Manager of Recruitment and Training for the Fairmont Empress. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to this.
Thank you so much, Holly, and thank you for the warm introduction and also for highlighting that, of course, the Empress would always be a preferred an employer of choice, right? And after the pandemic, although that influenced how we really process application, we're again opening our doors. So as early as now, we are actually offering our spring and summer hiring requirements and making sure that everyone is able to access all of the opportunities that are currently going to happen or going to be open in the hotel. So thank you, Holly. So I would like to make an introduction again of myself. I'm Marivik De Leon. I'm the recruitment and training manager for the Fairmont Empress Hotel, and I have actually prepared a small presentation about the company for those who are not really familiar, for those who are newly acclimated within the Victoria area. So can we switch to the next slide, please? Okay, so I prepared a short video presentation about the Empress as a property. I think I sent the link earlier to Michael as well. The other one, the first one with the Empress page. Can we start the presentation and also check the music or the background sound?
Sorry, Avik, you're not getting the sound on that video?
No.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Michael. So as you can see, everything in this video actually spelled luxury. But it doesn't mean that if it spells luxury, you get intimidated, right? Meaning that we are willing to really welcome people who are interested to craft a career in the hospitality industry. And we are opening our doors to people who would like to really explore and then treat the customers with excellent service. So basically, that's the reason why we are actively partnering with Work BC, just to make sure that all of the opportunities that will be available in this property will be made accessible to you. So what is new with the Empress? So basically, you know that we have been operating since 1908 and until now. So because the times have changed, and of course the preferences of the employees and candidates have also changed. Very recently, last year, we actually revamped our employer branding or employee value proposition. And we wanted it to make sure that we cater to all of the needs of our heartists. We call our employees heartists, which means that we are artists of the heart. So I would just like to you to watch this small clip about our employee value proposition or the promise we make to the artist or our employees.
We are the hardest. We are the heart of the hotel.
You know, every Accord property is different or different personalities, but there's that stream of kindness, patience, understanding.
Everything we do, we take care of each other. We look after each other. We honestly look for moments that matter and moments where we can make a guest stay once in a lifetime, something that they're never going to forget.
Because it's the little things that actually can make the biggest difference or impression on people.
We have to put our heart into everything that we're doing. We have to have passion for it so that they can feel it, they can see it, they can taste it, they can, it's everywhere.
Leaving the script behind and being you, being all of you, and how you bring that to work is welcomed, it's appreciated, it's celebrated here.
People will forget what you did for them. People will forget your name, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. So basically, why do I wanted to share this? Because definitely being in the hospitality industry requires a different level of commitment and passion. And as future candidates or future employees of the Empress, we really wanted to let people know that when you enter or when you get employed by Fairmont Empress, these are the things that we promise you, that you will feel, that you will experience, that you will enjoy. So basically, we have 4 pillars. Being all you are is about diversity and inclusion. So we are actually a very diverse organization. We have more or less 120 nationalities and still counting. So would just like to highlight the programs that we have. We celebrate holidays, different holidays, like we just recently celebrated the Lunar New Year, which is of course big in the Asian and Chinese communities, right? Our employee benefits are also tailored to the needs of people. We have the family assistance, mental health programming, and then we have employee perks that can be enjoyed on different parts of the globe. So basically, we work with purpose because you see, if you will not be able to work or know your purpose, you would not be able to really wow the guest. That would mean that we connect people and culture and make the world feel like we are one big community. Like we have an ethics program, we value employee engagement surveys. We also have anniversary and service awards. The people that you saw on the video earlier have been with Fairmont Empress for decades already. You can see that our chef has been here for 25 years, and we just celebrated 2 people that has been with the company for 50 years. Can you just imagine the commitment and the passion and how they were happy with really working at the Empress day in and day out? Because in a hotel operations, you can just imagine that we have 24/7 operations, meaning we operate Mondays to Fridays all the time. Okay. We have a lot of different shifts. And of course, we cater to guest requests 24/7, right? So we need people who are engaged, committed, and has passion to really serve, right? Aside from learning, enjoying, and also being the guest in the same property. Now, can you proceed to the next slide, please? Okay. So before I discuss the opportunities that we have right now, I just wanted to highlight, we always ask the question, what's in it for you? So I would like to be proud and boast of our employee benefit package. So this is standard for full-time and permanent part-time positions. And of course, our casual employees also are able to be eligible with some of our benefits. We are very flexible in terms of shifting. We have different employee classifications. Like I said, we have part-time permanent, full-time permanent, and we also have seasonal, temporary, and we have on-call colleagues or employees. So let's talk about your availability as well. If we feel that you are suitable for a particular role and we can accommodate your restrictions, then we can definitely consider you for an opportunity within the Fairmont Empress. So the first would be our global travel program. So employee benefit card offering discounted rates at Accor properties worldwide. So as a personal experience, I actually booked a trip going to the Banff. If you are familiar with Fairmont Banff Springs, I booked a travel with them and I only got the room for $183 that was supposed to be around $600. So that's how powerful our employee Heartist card is. We have access to all of the hotels, not only within Canada, but also within Asia Pacific and also Europe. So basically, when you become an employee, you will have access to the travel program where you can book online ahead of time and you will see if a particular room is available or not. So that's one of the biggest perk. Especially if you are traveling. I think the questions will come after the presentation. So if everyone can just mute your microphone for now so that it doesn't really disrupt the discussion, if that's okay. And then I'll be free to answer your questions later. Okay. So exclusive employee and friends and family discount at Fairmont Empress. So basically, all of our employees have exclusive discounts at this property. So for employees at this property, we only pay $133 for a deluxe room. So that's how good the rate is. And then you can also extend your discount to family and friends for hotels within Canada. So basically, if you ask me, I just booked 5 rooms for my friend at Hotel Palliser in Calgary, and they only got it for $155. That would be the king bed deluxe room. So that's a good deal, right? So a stay at a Fairmont hotel at only $155 with double rooms or double beds. So for me, that's really one of the best perk that I always share with those who are interested to join us. Aside from the room rates, you also have a beverage discount program of 50% on our partner properties. Because like with the Pacific Northwest region, we actually are sister hotels with Pacific Rim in mainland, the airport, waterfront, and also Hotel Vancouver. So if you are an employee and you connect with us, we can probably, of course, contact these sister hotels and ask if they can extend the 50% in terms of dining as well, not only the rooms. So we also have our complimentary meal at our colleague dining program. So basically everyone here can opt in or opt out to have free meals the entire day or during their shift. Access to comprehensive benefits and wellness program. So we have our extended medical benefits as well. Depending on the role, we have a different package or a different offering for the leaders and a different offering for the colleagues level or the employee entry level. Because like for me, I have a consolidated package of 2,500 for my physiotherapy, acupuncture, registered massage therapy. So basically, that's a good thing. We also have that for our employees, but that would depend on the level that they are in. We also have an access to our company match defined contribution pension plan or DCPP, meaning that when you contribute to your retirement plan at a particular percentage, say a maximum of 3% or 5%, the company is going to match it. So a dollar for a dollar. So if you're contributing to that at 5%, the company will be contributing another 5%. So instead of just having 5% in your DCPP, it becomes 10%. So that would depend on the maximum percentage that the company will be committing. It can be 3% to 5%. Now, aside from that, since we are a global organization, there is really an opportunity for you to be promoted not only up, but also laterally, meaning that growth is not only being promoted one level up, but it can be promoted by multi-skilling. What do I mean? Meaning because this is a big property and there are different departments within the hotel. You can start with housekeeping and then later on transition to front office and then later on transition to guest services, then later on transition to culinary. So there are a lot of positions within the hotel that you can actually avail of or you can actually apply to. So basically there are a lot of opportunities for you. Aside from that, there's also opportunity to attend our leadership and mentoring programs. If you've been working with a lot of hospitality leaders, they are so keen to really engage the younger people, the younger professionals, and they would be very willing to be mentors for you. Like, how do you move up the ladder of success, or how do you transition from one position to another? Although there are certain restrictions because we actually are a unionized property, but definitely in terms of the training itself, the training programs, that would be something for talent and culture or the HR department to run and work with you. Now, we also have above industry pay rate. Okay, so please take note of any questions about these benefits so that we can discuss later. Next slide, please. Thank you. So these are actually our hiring requirements. Okay, so I took the liberty to add the hourly rate for the position so that you are aware, and you will not, of course, you will be interested in terms of the pay. Everyone will always be interested on how we are paying our colleagues dependent on the position that they have applied at. So as you can see, like for third cook, you get the full, or for first cook, I think I did an incorrect posting in here. The 29.73 is actually for first cook. Okay, and then the third cook actually has a range. Why do we have ranges? Because we are a unionized organization, meaning that we are bound, or we operate based on a collective bargaining agreement. So in the collective bargaining agreement, for you to be able to really get the full rate pay, you would have to spend, there would be an arrangement that your entry level rate would be the rate or the starting rate, and then after 3 months you will have an additional payment in terms of like $1 to $2 increment, and then you get a full rate pay, which is like for example, the host position, the starting rate will be 17.92, and then a rate in between after 3 months. And when you get to the 6 months and onwards, you'll get the 22.40, which is the full rate of pay for the position. Okay. So some of the positions here actually have gratuities. What do I mean by gratuities? They have incentives in terms of commission. Okay. What are these positions? The food and beverage, definitely. Okay. So they actually have a centralized tip. So most of like the server roles, aside from getting their basic rate or even the full rate, will be given gratuities. That will be issued to them on a bi-weekly basis. Okay. Next slide, please. So we have, of course, all of the departments. And then, of course, as you can see, Fairmont Gold. Fairmont Gold is a hotel within a hotel. So basically, this is the upscale, or meaning luxury, the more luxurious rooms. And they are, of course, if you get a room at Fairmont Gold, if the regular room would be around 400, Fairmont Gold rooms will be around 800 to 900, the regular rooms for Fairmont Gold. So we are currently expanding right now. We are undergoing renovation. So from around 30 rooms, Fairmont Gold will be expanding to 80 rooms. So of course, we will be needing additional Fairmont Gold attendants. As you can see also, the 18.83 to 23.53 is actually higher than the normal server position. It's because these positions doesn't really have tips. Okay, so we can discuss that during your individual application, if your position is eligible for tips or not. Okay, for the spa, we also have positions like spa attendant and spa experience coordinators, but the spa positions are not covered by union. So our spa operations is not unionized. Stewarding and purchasing, this is actually self-explanatory, right? The night cleaner is also a dishwasher, but is working at night. So the schedule is night shift. Okay. And then I think we can proceed with the last one before we go to the question and answer. I think this is second to the last. Okay. So how do I qualify? That's the next question, right? So these are the minimum qualification. This is very generic, but again, it can change depending on the position that you are applying for. Okay, but for the entry-level roles, this is what we look for. You need to have a minimum of 1 to 2 years recent experience in a luxury hotel or any high-end establishment providing similar service. Okay, again, it's a case-to-case basis based on the assessment of HR and also of the hiring manager. Why did we indicate in the last 5 years? Because somehow there are applications that the person was a server, but it was from 15 years ago or 10 years ago, right? So we wanted someone, of course, who is, we're not saying that they're not trainable, but we wanted someone who has relevant experience, right? Because when you go into the hotel, it's really a fast-paced environment. And of course, we don't really want to sacrifice the time of the people in operations and your time as well. So we prioritize that they should have at least in the last 5 years. Of course, possess the required certification. There are positions wherein you need to have serving it right certificate for the servers and food safe certificate for both culinary and F&B department. So these are the required certification that we need people to have. Other things would be, if you are a Bellperson, you need to have at least a valid driver's license in PC. Okay, so this is what we mean by possess required certification. Okay. Now, if you are someone who is interested in the front office department, we need someone who know basic knowledge of hotel systems, like the POS for servers. This is how our customers pay us. right? And then Opera would be a property management system that is being used in reservation and room inventory. Okay? We can talk about it later if you have questions. Of course, a person should have ability to be adaptable and has organization skills in a busy environment. The person needs to be a team player, has the ability to really communicate in English because the majority of our clients or our guests are actually any Canadian and American. But of course, if you know another language like Spanish, Italian, French, Chinese, Korean, that would also be an asset because we have guests from around the world, right? But the primary need is a fluency in English. Of course, the commitment and passion to provide excellent service and exceed guest expectations. That's one of the biggest requirement that we have. And then the person should get along with the colleagues and of course with the leaders as well. And another big thing would be the physical ability. Of course, we do not discriminate in terms of disability, but of course we manage expectations that the job would really require. It's a physical activity. You would have to stand, walk, go up and down the stairs, and sometimes carry like 20 pounds if there is a need for you to do so, in terms of the paperwork and documentation, but not really like carry something very heavy. It depends on the position that you are applying for. If it's in stewarding, of course, you would have to handle pots and pans, and you should be able to work in a humid environment because it's a bit hot within the stewarding department when they're cleaning the dishes, right? So that would really depend. But of course, we manage expectations that you will be doing repetitive work. Okay, so someone who can enjoy doing repetitive work. Okay, and the last slide I think would be more on how do I apply online. Okay, so we have a global website, which is www.accorecareers.com. It's straightforward and it's not confusing, right? When you go at the accorescareers.com, you will see that you will see all of the openings globally. So you would have to choose the location, Victoria, British Columbia, so that you will be able to see all of our openings there. I just wanted to highlight where you can apply. So right now we are actually trying to put out our summer and spring requirements out there for you to be able to apply earlier. So you will see pipelining, or you will see requisitions that would say front office department, spring and summer hiring. So which means that you need to click that and apply there. Okay, because we don't have existing requirements right now, but we definitely will have spring and summer requirements that will be available. Okay, so we wanted to reach out to you as early as possible so that you can apply and we can already initiate discussions with those who will be shortlisted and qualified. Okay, so these are only examples of the requisition that you will see online. I think there's around 8 requisitions that has been posted with different departments. So you will see on the description of the job, it's very generic as well, but we've indicated the positions that we will need. Like for front office department, I think the positions that were indicated there are bellperson, sorry, bellperson and guest agent. Are the top 2 positions that we will be looking for. So basically, that's it. I think we can open the floor for question and answer now. Thank you, Holly. And Michael.
Hi. Thank you so much for that presentation. There are definitely some questions for you here. And one of them is a question. Tomorrow, is there possible to take online interview because I'm out of Victoria? do you want to respond to that? I don't think there's any activity tomorrow. It's Thursday at the Douglas office. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's going to be on Thursday. Like I said, we are currently pooling right now. So there's really no need for us to do the interviews right away. That's why the requisition said spring and summer requisitions, which means that we wanted people to apply in earlier so that we can get in touch with them. One of the possibilities, Holly, that I'm looking for is if we really see that these persons are suitable, we can actually extend a contract to them, but on a backdated date. What do I mean by that? Like if we process them, because in summer, everyone will be hiring and all of the positions will be there. So what we wanted to do is, like, for example, with the Fairmont Gold opening our doors in April because of the renovation, we wanted to process them and issue contract and job offers as early as March. So we're really able to, of course, get a hold of them and also for them to feel that they will have employment by April. Okay, managing expectations that this can be moved within 2 to 3 weeks, a little later, but still it gives them an assurance that they will be an employee of the Fairmont Empress by April at a particular date.
Well, that's good to know because then you've got that anticipation.
Correct.
Next question. Hi, do you have vacancies for managerial positions? I've applied for banquet captain, haven't heard back anything. I got 12 years of 5-star experience. My resume will be under the name of Arshad.
Okay. So basically we have managerial vacancies open, existing right now, okay?
Right.
But for banquets, we don't really have an event captain opening. So basically there was one that was opened, but there was an internal candidate who applied and got selected. So I am not really the main decision maker here. I do the HR part, but again, the decision to hire someone is actually made by the hiring manager. Okay? So I'm not saying that Arshad is not qualified. It might be that there was a more qualified employee, specifically when your competitor is an internal employee.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So the one that we posted last time was filled by an internal employee. But when we do close our requisitions, automatically all of those who were not selected will receive a rejection letter or a thank you letter, and then we will have their profile retained at our system for a year. So there are still chances that when I see that you're suitable for a particular role, you don't get hired there, but I reuse or I put you on a pipeline, and then I will say this is a match, and then I call you again and then say, are you willing to be considered for this role? Are you flexible enough to accommodate this role, because this is what we need right now? So it's not everyone who applies is important to us. I just wanted to express that message to everyone that is in the call. Everyone who applies, every candidate is important to the Empress. Okay, but of course, I have left my email there on the chat box on the first. It's the first item on the chat box. So if they have questions, they can send me an email. But please manage your expectations because I am also managing the recruitment mailbox on my own.
Oh my goodness. Another question. I have advanced intermediate English. I understand almost everything. Do you think I have the opportunity for options of being in front desk or events department?
Definitely, if you are able to write that comprehensive chat, then I don't think we will have a problem in terms of your fluency in English because, of course, it's very clear, right? But as a recruiter, I would tell you that what you're doing is correct. You are actually doing your part, right? Like researching employers, making sure that you are getting yourself out there prior to really arriving. But it can be a bit, it can be a bit challenging because the employers would always push that you are here because they wanted to see you in person, and they wanted someone who is already here, not because they're discriminating people outside of Canada. No, it's because they wanted to see you as a person. Okay, because of course the fit is like in an environment like this one. Okay, when I look at people, I look at the potential, not only the existing skill. Okay, but it's a very proactive environment. So sometimes, even if you're the most skilled person, right, people and hiring managers would still want to have a face-to-face interview with you because it's different, right? It's even different even in doing the virtual interview. Face-to-face is still being preferred, right? So don't feel bad, but I think that you will be able to get a job. Of course, just keep on doing what you're doing right now.
So here's the next question, and it segues right from what you were saying. This is a question. Hi, I am still in the Philippines, but will arrive in Canada this coming March 7th as open work permit visa. I'm interested to apply early while waiting for my arrival. I have 6, I would assume, years work experience in hotels from Saudi and Macau.
Okay. Definitely, it doesn't. We can stop anyone from applying, right? Of course, you have. I believe that the hotels in Saudi and Macau are also luxury properties, right? So please feel free to apply, and then let's see, right? And then what's good is that, Dave, what you can do is, like, you already got an interest from an employer, but they would say that we want you to be here. When you arrive, send them a note and tell them, I'm already here and I'm open to be invited if you would like to see me or meet me in person. That would work. But you can definitely apply as early as now.
This is exciting. And are there, oh, here we go. Could you please share again your email address? And this is for you, Marvik.
My email address has been indicated on the chat. If you scroll on the uppermost portion, that's the first chat. So I said there, to all interested candidates, you may also send your resume at empressrecruitment@fairmont.com. I'm going to type it again and send it right now. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, here's another one. I have a lot of experience in the hospitality business as a server, front desk clerk, bellman. Which position do you recommend for me? Which of these positions is more easily to get? Another question, do you provide parking because it's difficult to get to the workplace very early?
Okay, let's so you have 2 questions, right? So for me, it depends on where you are most passionate about, because it's always the passion, right? And it also depends on your current ability and skill, right? For the bell person, we need someone who can drive, definitely, who has a valid driver's license and has the capacity to really greet the guest, very welcoming. Okay, so basically, I think if you are a people person, then that would be something that you would like to do. Now, if you know the opera system, okay, because that's a skill that is not really everyone from the front desk person, like because the opera system is being used by big properties, right? Or small properties, but on a different year or license. We're not saying that if you don't know opera, you're not qualified, but at least you have a familiarity of an operating system in a hotel, because it's a bit difficult because opera doesn't really train people who are not in the hotel industry or not working in a hotel, right? So for me, if you are familiar with opera, then I would gladly assess you for the front desk role, because of course having that skill is not really, present in other candidates. Okay, so that's where you need to really choose, and then what do you enjoy doing. So it's always what a person enjoys doing. For me, that would be the main driver, because if I put you in a position where you find it boring, or you find it toxic, or it wears you out, then it's not going to be a long-term partnership between you and Fairmont. It would be something that you really love doing and also earning from it, right?
Are there any other questions? I have found this just so interesting. I love your enthusiasm. I know you care about your job and the people you work with, and it's so clear when I'm listening to you. Question, when do we come on Thursday? So that's our Douglas office from 9 till noon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sorry about the parking. I forgot the parking. The parking, we don't really have an allotment for the parking, because we are situated at the middle of downtown, and the parking is allocated for our guests only. So you would have to scout for parking within the government street area or something nearby. Yep. I'm so sorry, we don't have parking.
And of course, for Thursday, consider taking the bus or parking, because we have limited parking around our office too, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the email, or if it cannot, still a person can't see it, has it been sent to everybody? It's right at the very top of this meeting chat.
No, I'll send it to everyone, because I think I only sent it to one person. Now I'm sending it to everyone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And
now, yeah. Okay.
And here's a question. Do you hire anyone without 5-star luxury hotel experience?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Like for particular positions. What are those positions? Like for room attendants. For room attendants, we are willing to train. We just need someone who had customer service experience. Like if you're working at McDonald's and you are an all-around person there, that is something that tells us that this person is willing to learn. And of course, or if you are in a job that really requires you to take care of guests, not particularly a big hotel, then that would be something that can be considered as well. Or sometimes if you are a hospitality student, because although you didn't really have 1 to 2 years experience, but it is included in your curriculum to really learn about hotel operations, to be exposed on the different aspects of the operations within the hotel. So sometimes, even if you only have 6 months of hospitality and tourism tourism experience, but you were a graduate or you are currently studying a diploma in hospitality and tourism, that would be an equivalent of the 6 months that you lack. So we do consider.
This is Kathy Gagne is asking. This is in the convention center, not the hotel. Now, I'm assuming, Kathy, that you're wondering about Thursday. And Thursday, you have an opportunity to meet the staff at our Work BC office, and we're on the corner of Douglas and Dora. So that's where we're that you can meet and drop off your resume Thursday from 9 till noon, Work BC office.
Yep. For the server role, I would be because Holly, one of the enhancements that I I planned to do, or I did, was the one who will be attending the in-person job fair would not only be me, but
Yeah.
I'm bringing someone from hotel operations, particularly the Fairmont Gold lounge manager. So if we get a resume that is qualified for the Fairmont Gold lounge attendant, that manager can actually do the interview or provide instructions on how to apply online, and they can set up the interview either by in person, but at least the lounge manager, who is the operations person, is the hiring manager, and that person who is qualified would be able to talk directly to the hiring manager. So if you have a serving experience, or if you are an international student who wanted to have a summer job, or you recently graduated, please go to the in-person job fair, because you have the opportunity to meet the hiring manager and be considered directly by the hiring manager. Holly, I think you're on mute. Okay.
So this person, Kathy, is saying, I am AHLEI training. Is this recognized?
I am really not familiar with that training. If it's a hotel related training, then we can see. But in terms of the current requirements or certifications that we have right now, we don't have a similar or that particular certification required at this point.
And Tracy and Michael has put our address on the chat here. And Tracy is asking, are there any positions open for event planning?
We don't really have any requirement for our sales and marketing team, but if we see your profile, if I see that your profile is interesting, what I do is I always present the profile to the department head and say, I found this profile interesting. Would you like to take a look at this profile and maybe pipeline this person to the next best opportunity that you have? Because it's always about introducing exciting and new talents to the organization, right? Or maybe if the department head would see that the profile is interesting and a value add, they might open a position for that person. So we don't have requirements for sales and marketing right now, but I'm not saying that we would not be having for the entire year.
And there is a question here. Do you have administrative jobs or positions?
At this point, no, but of course, all of the department in the hotel actually have administrative posts like coordinators, but we are fully staffed at this point. However, if there will be attrition or resignation or turnover, then we might be opening requisitions for that. So please keep yourself posted on our requirements, because that's what I did. Actually, what I did as a tip for those who are really job seekers at this point, please create alerts at LinkedIn and Indeed. Because like if you're following a particular company, you can create an alert saying that every time that company posts a requisition or an opening, you will be alerted. Same goes with Indeed, because Indeed has the job boards has algorithms that they capture what your searches are. And every time that you do your searches, when there are new opportunities that are coming in and you are subscribed, they will send an email to your preferred email and you will be notified of the positions that are newly posted. So please do that.
Here's the next question. Thank you for sharing this information. Curious. How many interviews are there in order one gets a job, and when would be the first day of work? So yeah, how many interviews per job, and how soon after a job offer do you start?
Okay, so it depends on the position. If it's an entry level position, it would be maximum 2 to 3 interviews, but mostly usually 2 interviews. That would be an interview with me for the screening interview and an interview with the hiring manager. But if you are already on a supervisory or managerial position, for a supervisor, it can be 3 interviews, and for a manager, it can be 4 interviews, depending on the stakeholders of that role. Because somehow, if you are a sales and marketing manager, even the general manager would like to speak with you. So that would depend, but we don't have we only have a maximum of 4 interviews, and as much as possible we don't want to go to a 5 level hiring process. So it's maximum 4. But for the colleagues, the entry level ones, I would like to say that it's streamlined to 2 interviews. And then an online assessment.
Right, yeah. Here's another question. How about us not yet in Victoria? Do we have any chance to be hired with a phone or video interview?
It depends on the number of applications that we get. Because like, for example, if we have only 4 openings and 20 were qualified, then we would prioritize people that are coming in, that are already here in Victoria, right? Just to make sure that we secure the requirements, right? But like, if it's a technical position, if you're applying for like a building maintenance engineer, that's very hard to hire, or a security officer position, then that's the time that we do accommodate those that are looking from another province, right? But on all of the positions in the hotel, we do not really sponsor visas or do nominations, because of course that is actually, we don't really have a budget for it at this point. So we're not sponsoring people. But if you are within Canada and it depends on the position that you are applying for, yes, we do process applications from another province. Just to tell you honestly, I came from Toronto. So I came from Toronto. I applied around April, but I was applying on a Toronto position. Okay. But the hiring manager who saw my resume said that you will be applicable, or you will be a fit to one of our other openings, which is of course Victoria. And I was processed by the hiring manager, and come August, I was here. And I started with the Fairmont Empress family.
Wow.
So we are flexible if we know that you are the right person for the job.
Great. So a question from Tracy: where would I send my profile for event planning? Would that be done best in person with the manager that will be with you on Thursday?
You can send it to my Empress mailbox. Events planning is actually part of sales and marketing. So we don't really have an events planning team, no.
Oh, apparently our poster says that the time on Thursday is 10 till 3. I've got 9 till noon. We'll have to double check with Michael on that.
Yeah, but it's 9. It's just to confirm, it's 9 to 12 noon.
It is 9 to 12.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you. And I've done my 4 years of graduation and Bachelor of Hotel Management. I have 6 months experience at the Marriott in the bakery and pastry department from India. And now I am working at Tim Hortons as a baker. And I really want to do a job in Fairmont.
Of course, Priyanka, you can apply. I have a posting for Culinary, but I'm because I don't really have an opening in my pastry department at this point. If you would be willing to consider other opportunities where your inclination is at this point, if you can choose another department, because what I see is that Yes, we might not be able to get the exact position that we want, but it's a stepping stone to getting there because you already have a skill, right? And you can be open to your hiring manager by saying that I wanted my foot in the door, right? And then maybe you also manage expectations that this is what I'm really passionate about. So if there will be an opening at the pastry department, I will be applying for it.
Right. Follow up to Tracy's question about event planning. She's talking about wedding planning, conventions, those type of events. When businesses or people contact the hotel and need those services, that's part of your sales and marketing.
Yes, correct.
There you go. No event planning, but it's in that division of the services. Okay. I already applied online for the culinary. Please consider our resume to take a phone or video interview so we can plan to move in Victoria. I think that go ahead with, you're fairly clear about what that you hire, like you need to meet people in person. Is that right?
Correct. You know, because in reviewing a resume, there's really no standard formula, guys. Like for example, if I don't have your resume right now, I cannot really say you're suitable, you're not suitable. Because sometimes when I look at resumes, because recruiter, what they do, some recruiter, when they look at resume, they look for reasons why not to hire the person. Right?
Right.
What does this person lack, right? But for me, my approach is different. I try to look at the resume and look at the reasons why I should hire the person. Right? So I cannot just say that you're not qualified, you are qualified, you're suitable, you're not suitable. So that's why I am asking everyone to send me your resume on the Empress mailbox so that I can respond to it individually. That might be additional work for me, but that's okay because I have also been a job seeker before and I know the feeling.
Great. So we're coming on to 3 o'clock here. I don't see a lot of questions or any more questions. Oh, here's another one. If I applied for the bellman position, is it possible to work only in the mornings? Schedule is by the week or the month. I would assume that's your work schedules there.
Yeah. That is possible. We actually have restricted and unrestricted employee type. Restricted would be you would have to give your availability and then we would have to look at it and match it with the operational requirement. Of course, if we do consider everyone's availability, then the hotel would not be functioning properly, right? But of course, we try as much as possible to accommodate. Like if you are a student, you have classes in the afternoon, then of course we will only be giving you shifts in the morning, right? So the key here is to be transparent, right? You communicate your availability, and then of course, if you are not matching our availability right now, we still communicate with you and let you know if there will be a position that will be opening in the near future for you that matches your availability. So it's always an ongoing, an ongoing connecting thing. It's not really just you're not suitable, then that's okay, right? No. If we see that you're suitable, we keep on having you in our pocket so that we can, of course, get in touch with you when a requirement that fits your schedule is available. Yeah.
And I would assume this will be our last question. Do you have open positions for administrative work or in human resources?
At this point for HR, we are fully staffed right now, but I'm telling you that two of our one of our coordinators here just recently graduated. So he was a part-time student and now is a full-time coordinator. And another is a part-time student who is currently attending her masteral at UVic. But we're currently fully staffed at this point. So please follow our requirements. Okay, please subscribe to a core career so that you will be given a notification if in any case that we post anything for HR.
I want to thank you so much for today. I started saying, well, you know, maybe I want to try out too. So much enthusiasm. So any more questions before we say goodbye to this amazing lady?
Thank you, Holly.
It looks fine. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you so much for giving us this overview. And for those of you that are interested, please, 9 to 3 on Thursday at our office on Douglas and Pandora.
9 to 12.
9 to 12. What did I say? 10 to
You said
3.
till 3.
No, 9 to 12.
And bring your friends, like if you have family, friends, or relatives that you feel is interested to be hired and working during spring and summer, right? Please bring them with you on Thursday. Thank you.
Thanks, Avik. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
Thank you
you.
so much, Mike and Holly and Hannah. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Take care.